What's up, everybody? Welcome back to NJ Cocktails. My name is Kenny, and today we are going to be taking you through the Gimlet. Let's get into making it. Alright, so my inspiration for today's video comes from a friend of mine. I'm sure he's going to be tuning in. His name is Cameron, and we went out to dinner recently, and he ordered a Gimlet, and the bartender said, "Oh yeah, no problem. Let me get you a vodka Gimlet right away." And Cameron said, no, actually, gin Gimlet. And the bartender looked at him like he had 6 heads, and then went ahead and made a Gimlet with gin and served it up to Cameron. And so it got me thinking about this drink and how it kind of has been lost over the years and is starting to make a little bit of a comeback. It's something we haven't done on the channel yet. It's easy. It's only a couple of ingredients, so I thought it would be a perfect drink to put in front of you guys today. And so that's what we're going to be making. So a little bit of history on the Gimlet. It has a pretty familiar history as far as what I could research. 17th century, looks to have been created by English sailors as a remedy for scurvy. So that mixture of that we've seen in some of my other videos, I've covered this, sugar, lime, and rum, and sugar, lime, and gin here in this case. And so it looks like that's where the original Gimlet was created. I'm not 100% sure who gets credited with the name and when exactly the first Gimlet was produced and put to paper. I wasn't really able to find that. I'm sure it's out there though. But that is pretty much the history that I have on this one. It's a very simple drink. We're going to make it 2 ways today. Spoiler alert. The original Gimlet, from what I could find in my research, was an equal parts 50-50 mixture of gin and Lime Cordial, which is a mixture of lime peel, sugar, water, a little bit of citric acid I used in my recipe. The earliest versions of this drink were probably made with Rose's Lime Cordial, which is a mass-produced version that a lot of you are probably familiar with and probably have seen it. We made a homemade one today. The recipe is Jeffrey Morgenthaler's recipe, and I think this is going to work really good in that version. So we're going to make a 50-50 split with gin and lime cordial, and then we're going to make more of a modern spec, which is basically a daiquiri template: gin, simple syrup, and lime juice. And then we're going to do a little compare and contrast. So let's get into making these. All right, so we are going to need 2 tins, and we are going to start off with our lime juice. So for our first version, we are going to use 0.75, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. And we are going to use 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I'm using a cane sugar syrup. And then 2 ounces of our gin. We're using Tanqueray 10 today. Alright, and since we have the gin in our hands, I'm going to break a cardinal rule, and we're going to use the most expensive ingredient first. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of gin in our other tin. Not drop the bottle. And then we are going to use 1.5 ounces of our homemade lime cordial. I'm predicting this one to be a little bit off balance, but we'll see. We're going to add some ice to both of these tins, and then we're going to shake it up. Alright, let's shake these up. Double shake, NJ Cocktail style. Almost lost one. Alright, we are going to fine strain each of these. We're going to start with the 50-50 version with the homemade lime cordial. And now our daiquiri spec, the more modern version. And there you have the gin gimlet, or the gimlet. No need to say gin because a gimlet is not made with vodka. Sorry. Let's give these a taste. I'm going to start with the original. Oh, it's not, surprisingly not as unbalanced as I thought. It is definitely lime. All lime. Truthfully, the Tanqueray kind of gets lost in this, I think, for me. I think, actually, I retract that statement. I do get a little bit of the gin coming through, those botanicals. I think the gin selection here is pretty important. Tanqueray 10 may not have been the best choice. I think something with a little bit more profound botanical elements might be better off. I would steer clear of a softer style gin. I probably wouldn't use like a Plymouth in here. You probably want to go with something like a Beefeater, or even something a little bit more complex, like even Monkey 47, I think would do really nice in this. That's really good. And now for the modern iteration. Okay, yeah, so right away, the gin is much more upfront, much more forward in this version. This is very, very, very well balanced. Sweet, tart from the lime, but the gin is the star of the show. I think if I were to use lime cordial again, I think that it definitely probably should be dialed back a little bit. It's definitely not, it's sweet, it's not overly sweet, but it's just a very, very powerful flavor. Those lime peels being utilized in there really make the flavor of that lime, times 10. I think that is everything I have to say about these. Super simple, easy, 3 ingredients, 2 ingredients if you go with the classic recipe. These are delicious, good. You can drink these all year round. Definitely a nice summertime drink, very refreshing. So yeah, go out and make yourself a gimlet, and tune in Tuesdays and Fridays for our new videos. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop us a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Check out some information in my description below, and check out all of the wonderful sponsors and partners on the channel we have. Staggerly Goods, who supplies me with these awesome aprons. Rona Glassware for all the greatest glassware, and Barfly Mixology gear for the best gear in the industry. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.